All right, we back. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. And that's just how it's going to be. Welcome to or welcome back to Planet P. So, today, I'm going to come to y'all with a little bit of tea on moving. If y'all see me snacking, don't worry. Mind y'all business. I'm over here crushing these pecan pralines from Trader Joe's. I literally got a few left in the box because I've been tearing these drinks up. They are so bomb. Of course, it's not sponsored in any way because I ain't that popping yet. But Trader Joe's, hit me. Love a good TJ strip, okay? We're gonna make this video quick because my iPhone is on some dumb shit. Keep telling me I can't export movies out of iMovie. This much amount of space is needed and yada yada yada, whoop the whoop. Let me just say this. My phone has 256 gigabytes. I'm currently using like 119 gigabytes right now. I also have 2 terabytes of iCloud storage. So how the hell I don't have no storage? And y'all like, what? I'm not even using the whole 256 that's on the phone. Somebody not doing the math right. But whatever. So, okay. I'm going to tell y'all the things that I know about, the housing industry, property management industry, because I used to work in the industry. Like, I'm real live. I consider myself an expert when it comes to apartments. Because I feel like I can't never move nowhere and it be some shit. Because I know how to read through shit and I know how to see through shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't work at so many places that were, like, Class D properties. That's another thing. Properties come in, like, classes. A, B, C, D. Like, that kind of thing. I don't work at Class D properties, and 8 times out of 10, they accept some type of housing voucher, some type of subsidy, some type of assistance. So for y'all on Twitter, I be seeing y'all talking about I want a voucher so my rent could be $80. But do you want the roaches and do you want the leaks? Do you want the mice? Do you want the loud ass neighbors? Do you want the niggas in the hallway smoking weed all day? You don't want all of that where you live at. And you don't want to come outside and your car stolen or the windows bust out or your shit sitting on bricks so they done took your tires and your rims and your wheels and shit. Y'all don't want that for real. That's what you think you want. But we're going to get back into that later. So, I'm just coming to tell y'all, how I moved. If you know me personally, I'm a person, I write every single thing down in my life. Yeah, this some shit from work. No. Whatever, we're just gonna use this. We're gonna use this to cover up on this other page. Because there's some stuff about surgery and stuff. Because if you know me, since I've like, y'all, I wanted a fat ass since I was like 11. I'm not even gonna hold you. I always knew I was very provocative, but I never like showed that side of me because I just felt like I would have probably went buck wild. So I kept and held on to it for a long, long time. But I always knew I was a hoe since. But okay. And I don't mean that as a derogatory term. I feel like a hoe is a woman who owns her sexuality and her sexual expression and how she carries herself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's free and who she is. And she don't need validation for her sexuality from no nigga specifically. But that's a whole nother conversation. Okay. So, like, these are all the communities that I was inquiring about when I wanted to move. Like, I would go on, what is it called? The Apartment Finder app, I believe. Get the hell off apartments.com. That shit is shit. That is the worst apartment little website finder, whatever the case may be. The only thing, we're going to circle back to apartments.com, but we don't use that to sift through apartments. We only use that to get the tea. Because on apartments.com, people going to tell the tea and Google. But like I said, I'm going out of order. We're going to get back into that. So yeah, these are all the apartment communities that I was interested in. And then like these little keys that I made for myself, like BB is like big bedroom. SB, small bedroom. OB, okay bedroom. SBA, small bathroom. Is that it? Yeah, that's what that say. Okay. And then AV, average, B, big. Okay, and those were things that were very important to me. I need something that's big because I don't want to live in no matchbox. Like, you know what I'm saying? And some people are okay with living in matchboxes. Like, I don't work at properties where, like, the one-bedroom apartment is, like, 700 square feet. And I'm like, bitch, you sneeze too hard. The cabinet's gonna shake. Like, I can't live like that. I can't be confined in a little-ass space like that. Like, I grew up like that. And when I got the fuck out of my mother's house, I don't know how I was living in there. Like, I don't know how the fuck I was living in there. Bitch, I feel claustrophobic going in that bitch. Like, I can't live like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, when I moved with my grandfather, his apartment is definitely bigger than my mother's. So, I feel like that helped, level the playing field because I lived with him. the most recent. You know what I'm saying? He was the last person I lived with before I moved to college type shit. But yeah, like I can't live in no little ass apartment. So off the rip, I'm looking at 1,000 square feet and up, period. So, okay, because usually 1,000 square feet up is usually like a 1-bedroom and a den, a 1-bedroom, or like a 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom and a study, like that kind of thing. And that's what I have now. I have a 1-bedroom and a study. And my square footage is, let me see, did I write it down? 1,024 square feet, right? Okay. So the first thing that you need to do is, before you even get to this and before you able to decipher like what you like and what you don't like and all that kind of stuff, we're going to talk about what's important and what you need to know about yourself before you can go somewhere and be filling out an application for an apartment. You need to know your credit history and your rental history, okay? Again, I'm going to say this again. Know your credit history and your rental history. If you have evictions, if you have like big balances owed to other companies, you're not getting no fucking apartment. Let's just close the door on that right now, unless you go with a second chance property, and then we'll get into that later. But okay, we just going for the normal regular shit. Your credit and your rental history are the first thing that's going to get you through the door. Like, if that's fucked up, then you out of luck. So for y'all that's living with your mother or living with your auntie and she got your name on that lease and she behind, get your name off that fucking lease. Because yeah, like, you can go to the office and you can ask for a roommate release form to get your name off that lease, so that whenever the court papers or whenever the legalities start, whenever the laws get involved, your name not nowhere near that. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, that's one thing I did, was take my name off my mother lease. And so I did it for other personal reasons, but I'm not evil like that no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so took my name off the lease. Never had my name on no other lease that, you know, was delinquent or nothing like that. So the first time I ever moved, I got approved off the rip. You know, like credit good, all that good shit, okay? Another thing, and this is the part that be fucking me up. If you got felonies, they not gonna give you an apartment. If you got well, if you a registered sex offender, you're not gonna get an apartment. What else? Felons, sex offenders, balances, evictions. Yeah, those usually the top. And then like just like wild credit history. If you just got like a bunch of credit cards open with a bunch of balances and shit, you're not getting an apartment either. So them really the top 5 things that really affect your score. Like, or like when we process your application, those are really the things that, if that shit come up in red, you're shit out of luck. So again, felons, if you got evictions, if you got a big balance due at another property, if your credit is just crazy, and then it was something else I said. Oh, and if you're a registered sex offender. Okay, and if y'all see me looking down, I got like a little list. Okay, so then after that, the other thing we're gonna get into is income. Listen, we're gonna get into income, okay? The money gotta be where your mouth is. That's what I can say. Stop coming to people's offices with these fake ass paycheck stubs. Cause we know they fake. Like, I can look at a paycheck stub and tell you that bitch is fake. Like, I know it's fake. Okay, so if you gonna be trying to pull that card, put the deck back, bitch. We're done with that. Okay? So, and then now, because places is getting hip, young guy just had a paycheck stub. They want to see the bank statement where the check is being deposited. Like, hold up. Look at paycheck stub. I had one because I did a skit with a paycheck stub. Where'd it go? What's a W2? Oh, here you go. That's one of my old paycheck stubs from when I used to serve tables in college. Granted, there's not going to be no bank on here because I didn't used to get paid no money. So, I'm trying to make sure ain't nothing crazy on here before I start pulling this paper out and shit. No, I didn't have my information on here. Okay. So, like, on the paycheck stub, like, usually at the bottom where it got, like, the little breakdown of the checking account number and the money and where it go, they want to see the bank statement that matches this deposit that's on this paycheck stub, okay? And then another thing that I want to stress to y'all that I cannot stress enough, because when I tell y'all we be in that office running out mouth about y'all, calling y'all all kinds of names and shit. Because that's how y'all be presenting yourselves, like y'all fucking stupid. So, you have to have your 3 minimum. Usually, some people might ask for more, but minimum, you have to have your 3 most recent consecutive. You see how them words go together? 3, not 2, not 1, not 1 paycheck stub, and 3 bank statements. No, 3 of each. Okay, 6 things in total. Okay, 3 most recent consecutive paycheck stubs and bank statements. Okay, so that means that if this is the month of April, you gotta have your paycheck stub for March and the bank statement for March. You gotta have the paycheck stub and the bank statement for February. And you gotta have the paycheck stub and bank statement for the month of January. Okay? Okay. Now, y'all could be like, oh, what if I just started a job? I just started there. I ain't been working there for but a month. Cool. That's cool too. Bring the most recent paycheck stub that you got from your last pay period along with the bank statement that go with that last pay period, and also bring your offer letter. And don't think you about to type up no shit on Microsoft Word, because you're not. It has to have the company logo, seal, or like it got to be from HR. It has to be an official document, okay? And again, that's another thing. We can tell when those documents are not official, baby, okay? So let's just clear the air on that right now. They have to be in order. They have to be together, and they have to match. That's all I can say on that. Because people be bringing paycheck stubs from September, one from January, one from October. That's not consecutive. September and October, yes, that's consecutive. But what the fuck come after October, November, ho? And this is the month of April, hypothetically speaking. So that don't even work for me. They got to be the most recent 3, the most consecutive recent 3. That I cannot stress that enough. Y'all really be like killing the vibe when y'all come in here with some wild ass paperwork. Like, I just be like, they dumb as shit. They don't even deserve an apartment because you dumb as shit. Like, off the strength. I told y'all I was going to tell the tea. That's the tea. Them people in that lease office be laughing you the fuck out. So, don't be that person. Okay? Okay. So far we've talked about credit, rental, and then I guess background that go into like credit and rental too, because they run all of that together with your application. And we've also talked about income. You got to be able to prove it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Different states have different laws. So for some places, they might ask for 2 times the rent. I think when I lived in North Carolina, it was 2 times the rent. Some places might ask for 2.5 times the rent. If I'm not mistaken, when I worked, the last place I worked at in Maryland was 2.5 times the rent. Here in the state of Texas, baby, they want their money. They want 3 times the motherfucking rent, okay? So, yeah, them folks is not playing. They said we not one of them. And, again, you have to be able to prove it. And then another good thing that I'm going to put y'all on to is when we calculate income, we do it from the, bitch, what is it? Is it the net, the gross? Hold up, which one? Because I ain't done this in a minute. I'm losing my verbiage. The net. The net is what they use. So before taxes, it got to be 3 times the rent, 2.5 times the rent, 2 times the rent. That's before the taxes come out the check. That's how we calculate it. And then another thing, save yourself the embarrassment and do the math yourself. Do the math yourself, okay? I'm not good at math, so let's write this down. Let's say the rent, well, I'm going to just keep it round number so I can do this in the air. Let's say the rent is $1,000, okay? You need to take your paycheck stubs and look at them and look right here where it say net. Y'all see that say 0 because servers don't get paid no money. You see where it say net check. Total pay, that usually be another number because the Uncle Sam that came to show his ugly ass face and start, collecting shit that don't even belong to him. But anyhow, when you get your checks and it say net check, add them numbers up, right? Now, remember I said the rent was $1,000. If them numbers from your last 3 most recent consecutive checks, if those numbers don't add up to $3,000, don't waste your $50 on the application because you don't make enough money. Like, that's that on that. And then another thing to get back into like the credit, rental history, and background. Let's just say you come, so usually when you run an application, it come back red, denied. It come back green, approved, or it come back yellow, conditional. A conditional usually mean they're gonna make you pay like 2 security deposits. So keep that in mind. You want to be in your bag. You want to be about it. Have your bag in order to move, because that's a whole nother thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So once you are ready to apply, like I mentioned, application fees are usually $50 at least. I ain't never seen an application fee more than that. But yeah, some places they have a thing called an admin fee. That is something that's usually non-refundable as well. And then on top of your application fee, your admin fee, you also got your security deposit that you got to pay. And like I just said, if you come back as a conditional approval, they're going to ask you to pay 2 security deposits. So you really got to make sure that you in your bag. You don't know how many times I've been at the office, running the paperwork, somebody come in there. It's always smoke. It's always urgency when they come in there with the application. Yeah, I need to move next month. Whatever. Yeah. All right, cool. And then another thing, don't be calling the people at that office blowing them up, because they got shit to do. They really in there doing shit. And if you got an appointment, show up at the time for your appointment now when you want to, because a person like me, I'm gonna make you wait till your appointment time. So that's why I made the appointment, ho. But okay, like I said, don't be calling them people. Give them people, what is it? I think it's 48 hours to 72 hours to process the application. Again, different companies got different policies. But give them folks at least 2 days before you start blowing them up. Because 8 times out of 10, the bitch that's blowing me up, her eyes was bigger than her bag. And she can't even move forward with the process. And you're blowing me because you're blowing my phone up, taking me away from potential business who I could be on the phone with, who got the bag. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay. You know how many times people done run in the office real quick? Yeah, I need to move next week. I need to move tomorrow. Okay, cool. I rushed the application. Get it in. Hey, Miss Johnson. Yes, your application was conditionally approved. So upon moving, I will need your $1,000 rental payment along with your $2,000. Well, let's just say $1,000 deposit. $1,000 deposit. I thought the deposit was $500. Yeah, but your application came back conditional, and we are a community that works with conditional applications, so we are willing to accept your application. However, we are requiring that you pay 2 security deposits for the conditional approval. Oh well, I'm gonna have to change my moving day because I only had the. Don't be her. Don't be Miss Johnson. Don't be Miss Johnson that only got the money to move in. Don't be her. Okay. Okay. So then another thing that might be important to y'all is, okay, yeah, everybody's like, yes, I want to live in a high rise. I want to live downtown. I want to live uptown. I want to live this place. I want to live that place. I want to live this. I want to have these amenities. I gotta have a whirlpool and a waterfall and a gym and yup, all of them add up. So that regular little $1,000 apartment that had the regular stuff, had the little playground for the kids, might have a little swim pool, little pool passes, little laundromat. Yeah, that's the $1,000. But then when you get to the other apartment and you like, oh yeah, I want the in-unit washer and dryer, I want the dog park, I want the this, I want the that. Now that rent $1,500 because they making you pay for that. Little do you know. All that extra stuff is added on to that rent. Okay, now remember earlier we was talking about application fees, admin fees, security deposits, and then also sometimes places they got a amenity fee. Girl. So let's just say they got like a little community room or something, a little office space or something. Like every month they make you pay a fee to have access to that stuff. Now usually amenity fees are not too high. Amenity fees might be like $50. But like I said, you done took that little $1,000 rent, turned it into $1,500 when you said luxury. And then now we're going to add that other $50 every month. So now your rent $1,550. Okay? And baby, that's the rent. We ain't even got into utilities yet. Okay? Let's just keep the ball rolling. So, be aware of these fees because they add up on your ass. Little do you know. Also, some places, they require a pest control fee. Let's not forget about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, and again, those are never high. Like, I think my pest control fee is $4 a month. So there's that. And now we're going to get into utilities. Listen, this is another thing. This is another thing that be having us in the office dragging you. You call, you ask about the apartments, we tell you what it is, we tell you what it ain't, and you say, oh, I got to pay utilities? I want utilities included. Miss Girl, you go somewhere the utilities included, they just gonna add the money to the rent, so you're still paying the utilities anyways. Like, you're stupid. Like, why don't your brain process that that's how that works? So, okay, let's just say, yeah, the rent $1,000, because like I told y'all, I probably didn't tell y'all, but I have dyscalculia, so numbers be dancing around my head like diamonds on Chris Brown, bitch. So $1,000 is a number I can work with. So let's just say it's $1,000. We say, yeah, the apartment $1,000 plus utilities. Your utilities, depending on if you got kids, depending on how big your household is, you're going to have to pay electric, water, or gas. Them usually the top 3 utilities. Yeah, electric, water, and then like gas. You got a gas stove. All of that might equal out to like $150 a month. I'm speaking from a one-person household again, right? And you say, oh, I don't want to pay utilities. And then you go call somewhere else, and they say, yeah, we got 1 bedroom, everything included, $1,200. Bitch, it's the same thing. Like, what's slow for y'all? Like, somebody not doing the math right. Like, and then on the back end, you probably ended up spending more when a place with like the utilities included. Because how they know how much shit you using for real? But I don't know the technicalities behind that. So I want to pay what I pay for what I use. So, like, for example, my water bill every month is usually like $40. My electric bill usually like $80. That's all I pay for utilities is water and electric. Okay, cool. So, right. We was talking about the location and the amenities. Ain't nothing wrong with getting a regular apartment. Like, everybody don't need fob, entry, and all of that. Because it's a fee. It's a fee for that, baby. That's what I want y'all to know. So, you try to jump out and jump ahead. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your pockets might not say that. And it's okay to get that older apartment. Because what I will tell you is, listen, it's a secret. Ain't nobody telling y'all. Baby, them older apartments, they're going to be bigger. Always going to be bigger because they was built back in the day. So they're bigger. These new apartments, bitch, they're shoeboxes with walls. Okay? And then also my favorite part, y'all, about living in an older apartment. I'm not talking about nothing that's run down. That's not what I'm saying. But something that's been established and been, you know, in the ground for a minute. Baby, that water gets so hot, it melts your skin off. I swear to God. Oh, I swear to God. That water gets so hot, it melts the skin right off your body, young. I swear to God. Them new apartments, that water don't get that hot. That water don't get that hot. Or it get hot, but it don't stay hot for long. You ever been in the shower and you gotta, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you know how you turn it off a little bit more each time to get the hot water to keep going? And then you get all the way to the end. And so you know eventually your shower about to turn cold. I ain't never had one of them lights here. Bitch, the water in that bathroom is so hot, I swear to God, it will burn the skin off of your body. Like, anybody that's been in my house, that's the first thing I say. Like, I be like, listen, when you get in the shower, don't be turning that knob because I'm not getting sued for no 3rd-degree burns. I don't got time for nobody to be busting their ass in the shower. Don't fuck with that shower knob when you go in there. I got it set to regular hot temperature. Just pull that bitch out. Don't start turning and twisting because you're going to burn your fucking self. Okay? Okay, then another thing we gotta talk about is, like, what's your budget? What's your budget? And I'm not talking about your budget for your rent, because we already know the rent $1,000, okay? How much is your phone bill? How much is your internet gonna be? Do you know how much you're gonna spend on groceries every month? How much the water bill? How much the cable bill? How much your car insurance? How much it costs to put gas in your car every month? What else I be writing down? Hold up, because I be writing down all my little monthly expenses, period. How much your credit card bill is gonna be every month? How much money you spend out going to the bar or going out to eat or going... A lot of people don't know answers to none of them questions I just asked. And that's where you're fucked up at. If you don't know the answer to them questions, you don't need to move nowhere. You need to stay right where the fuck you at, get your pockets together, get your budget together, and then really figure out where you stand at in life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Type shit. Okay. Yeah, like, okay. So, like, for me personally, I knew exactly how much money I was spending on breathing. That's what I called it, like, the breathe fee. Because regardless of what happened every month, that amount of money is going to have to be in the bank because that's what's going to have to be there because them bills got to get paid. Bitch, how much is your Apple Music? Like, all of them, that add up. How much is the Netflix? Bitch, who am I kidding? Nobody pays for Netflix. If you watch Netflix, you don't even pay for it. So let's just edit that out. I think I talk about everything. Like, groceries, utilities, car, and that includes insurance, gas, credit cards, your phone, cable, Wi-Fi, and then like your play money. Like a lot of people don't even know how much play money they spending because listen, that's another little secret I'm gonna tell y'all. The people who don't know how much play money they spending, they not paying no real bills for real. That's why they got all that extra fucking money to play with. But no shade to nobody, because I used to be that girl. Like, granted, when I live with my godparents, like, yeah, I can get them money. Like, I get them like $500 a month. Because I just feel like, one thing you won't do is come to me and tell me how much you think I should give you. That don't sit right in my book. That's just, no. So, for me being an adult, and I'm also the kind of person, I don't never want nobody to say I owe them nothing. So, I just felt like $500 was a real amount of money. Like, I had a real job. I was making real money. Like, whatever. Like, yeah, that $500, that was cool for me at the time. Like, okay, bet. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm eating dinner with them. Okay, cool. Like, yeah, we get our little Chipotle family dinner. We get our Chick-fil-A family dinner. We go out to dinner. Like, okay, all right. Like, $500 a month. I think I eat that much. That's what it really, like, boiled down to me from. Was like, I don't give a fuck about y'all water bill. I don't give a fuck about y'all electric. Because I'm like, no. Girl, they used to leave lights on in that bitch for all the time. I promise you right now, it's all the lights on in the house right now. And that was a big-ass house. So, like, I'm just like, I feel like, yeah, I eat about $500 worth of food. Yeah, I could put that back in your refrigerator. Yeah, okay, cool. Whatever. All right. Oh, and then, like, I also got, like, a phone bill with them, too. So, I'm just like, yeah, between the amount of food I eat and, like, my little phone bill, $500. Y'all can have it. Cool. Do you. Whatever. So, I personally knew before I moved to Texas that every month I was spending, like, I say, like, this is going to sound bad, y'all. Oh, my God, this is going to sound so bad. But I say my breathe fee, just for me, with no bills, not even no bills, with no rent, but just like me and my bills and existing, I think I was probably, I say like $2,000. Like that's between the weed I was smoking, the liquor I was drinking. Because if you haven't watched my other video, go watch the other video. Because bitch, I was going out sad, okay? But on my real sad girl shit. But between the amount of weed I was smoking, the liquor I was drinking, the amount of out food I was eating, the amount of gas I was putting in my fucking car, because I lived all the way out, what the fuck, and all of my social circle, they still lived in like the regular part of Maryland. So I'm driving back and forth from Super Maryland, and then I'm also the kind of person, like, it's very rare that I didn't come home. Like, that's one thing my godfather was always be concerned about, like, oh, is she gonna come home? And my godmother was like, listen, Precious is not sleeping in nobody else's bed. She's gonna come home. Like, so unless it was a few rare occasions, like, I think I spent the night with me a few times, spent the night with Kiera a few times. I just feel so crazy because, like, them, like, I always drop they names in my videos. Like, that's wild as fuck to me. But I think that was it for real. I spent the night with Maya a few times, but that was usually like in the summertime. But yeah, whatever. So yeah, like, I knew I was spending at least like $2,000 a month on just life. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I also figured that I wouldn't be coping as much once I moved out, so I probably could knock off like $500 off of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, cool. Between like $1,500 a month is how much I'm spending on life. And then I also got to make sure I can pay my rent. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, cool. Like, so I knew my budget. Like, I knew what I needed to have every month to stay afloat. And I was like, I think that's doable. I could do that. So let's just say, you found your place. Like, yes, I love it. You're aware of all the fees and all that good jazz. But you don't really know nothing about this apartment. Because them people is telling you what's going to get you to sign on the dotted line. Because I used to be them people. Bitch, I done worked in places that I know got roaches. Places that I know got mice. Places that I know is not where the fuck you should be living at. But like I said, I also mostly, like, I ain't never worked at, like, well, I worked at one luxury property for, like, a summer. Like, one time. But usually, like, you know, you find me in the hood. What's good? Like, so, all the places I worked at was Section 8, was subsidized housing. So, that kind of come with the playing field. If that's the field you playing on, that's what come with it. Like, I hate to say it like that, but that's just what it is. So, oh, the washing machine just stopped. I was like, what the hell was that? But, like, you don't really know what this place look like for real. You don't really know what it is. Like, and so, like, when I was younger and, like, and then, okay, also, I grew up in subsidized housing. Like, I grew up on Section 8. Like, so I know what that shit is about. So, when people used to be like, oh, it's just always so many people outside. And I'm like, yeah, this the hood. Like, these the people that be around the way. We the same people that's out here every day. Like, why y'all complaining? But as I got older, I started to understand, like, you don't want to hear niggas shooting dice outside all night, all day, every day. You don't want to hear niggas in the hallway shooting dice all night, every day. You don't want to keep seeing niggas shooting music videos around the way. Like, you don't want to keep hearing gunshots. It's just certain shit that, you know, like, you just don't want to do as an adult. So, whatever. So, what I will say is Google Maps was my friend because me personally, I had never even visited the state of Texas before I moved. I just knew that I wanted to get the fuck, and I wanted to get the fuck far and affordable. I wanted to go to California, but I can't afford to live in California. Yes, I could afford to live in California, but the only thing I would be affording is my rent. I wouldn't be able to afford my breathe fee and my rent in California. Hell no. And I also just don't see me, like, doing the whole roommate thing. Again, that's just not my cup of tea. The next time it's going to be a roommate, the nigga name going to be on the deed, and he going to be paying the fucking mortgage. That's who's going to be my roommate. But Google Maps is very, very, very helpful. Y'all know how you can tap around and you can look around? Girl, I tapped around this whole neighborhood. And so I saw the apartments. Like, yeah, I saw all the little virtual tours. And I did a FaceTime tour with the leasing agent. Like, so she walked from the office to the apartment on FaceTime with the iPad, you know, showed me the apartment, all that stuff. Another thing, when y'all move in, make sure they're showing you your apartment. Fuck that model unit. Fuck all of that. No. Ask them to see your apartment before you sign anything. Okay? Okay. So like I said, you know, I went on Google Maps and I opened up the map with the little binoculars and how you can tap and move around. So I tapped around the whole little neighborhood and I was just like, oh, okay, it's a Hand and Stone around here. That's the little massage place I go to. And then, girl, when I saw it was a Trader Joe's, a Whole Foods. What else? What else did it for me? It was the Trader Joe's, the Whole Foods, and it was something else. Oh my God, what was the other thing? Oh, the houses. When I saw the Trader Joe's, the Whole Foods, and the houses across the street, I said, oh, this is the suburbs. Don't nothing happen around here. Like, I can live here. Like, I can look at this and tell that don't shit happen around here. Like, okay, cool. And then, like, I like the fact also, like, where I live at, our parking lot is gated. Like, granted, we got street parking. You can park on the street. But I like to park in the back because it got a little gate. Like, you know, so I know ain't nobody going to be fucking with my car and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you have the luxury that you're staying in state and you moving, this another thing ain't nobody telling y'all. Listen, because during the daytime, don't shit happen because people be at work and the hood rats be at school or they somewhere during the school hours because that's where the fuck their parents think they get. So what I need you to do, ride around that bitch when the sun go down. Because that's when you know the kind of fucking neighborhood that you really got. Because best believe, by the time the high school kids get out of school, and then that sun start to go down a little bit, oh, they active. They active, baby. So the people that be out there, the people that's, like I said, I used to be one of the people. Like, we the same people that's out here every day. Them same people that's going to be out there every day is them people that's going to be out there when you ride around that bitch at night. Go visit the apartment community at night so you can see the activity of what's going on and how, you know, the property goes down when the office closed. Because when the office closed, baby, it's free game. I just want y'all to know that. When that office closed, it's free game. What else? Oh, and then I said we was going to get back to apartments.com. Apartments.com and Google are your two things that you need to be looking at for reviews. Apartments.com going to tell you the T. Always organize your reviews from recent to least recent. But read all them bitches, okay? Read all of them. Okay, so, like, for example, people complain about shit that's not important to me. Like, oh, I call, no one ever answers the phone, or like, that's management shit. That don't have nothing to do with the apartment for real. Like, or like people will say stuff like, what's another thing? I don't even know, but like just like more management shit that I don't care about. Like, I don't care about that because I don't care. But on Google, this is the real tea. So when I was looking for apartments on Google, any place I looked at, if you go to reviews and you organize them from recent to least recent, bitch, it got like little filter bubbles under the little review shit. If any of that shit, because, okay, so what I'm assuming happens is once people start leaving reviews, Google takes like recent or popular phrases or words and makes it like little clickable filters. If anything I was looking at had a little filter that said, I'm gonna see if I can insert a picture so y'all can see what I'm talking about on Google reviews. If anything I was looking at had a filter of like roaches, and then another thing is it'll tell you the amount of reviews next to that word or next to that phrase. So anything that had like roaches singled out, automatically off my list. Because that means a lot of people is talking about roaches in their community, in their apartment. And I don't fuck around like that. I don't do bugs. I don't do rodents. I don't do pests. I don't do none of that shit. I don't play with that. Like, no. Granted, I grew up in the hood, but bitch, we was never dirty. Ain't never had no roaches. None of that. Like, nah. Yeah, and then I saw a mouse in my mother's house one time and I moved the fuck out. So, there's that. And then the shit that blew me was, why the fuck she tried to tell me I bought it home from work? Bitch, get the fuck out of here. But anyhow, like, you really about to tell me that people be so fucking in denial, bitch. Like, and denial just ain't a river in Africa, bitch. People be in it. People be in denial like a motherfucker. Like, granted, I'm not saying my mother dirty or nothing like that. And it was a lot of people moving in the apartment. Like, she got like 3 new neighbors. Like, and I was just like, these motherfuckers dirty. They live down the hill. I know them. Like, they dirty. That's where that mouse came from. And you really about to tell me I brought it home from work? Bitch, you tripping like big shoes. I gotta go. So, that's when I left. Yeah, we talked about going at night. And then, like, we talked about the pros and cons of, like, luxury versus, like, normal. And then you also, once you get through all of that, now you got to figure out what your non-negotiables are. Like, so I'll tell you my non-negotiables. I will not live anywhere that don't have a dishwasher because I'm not washing no fucking dishes. I'm not washing no fucking dishes. I'm not doing that. I didn't grow up washing dishes. That wasn't, like, a chore. That wasn't, like, a thing. So, at this grown-ass age, I'm not washing no fucking dishes. I'm not doing that. I'm not living nowhere that don't have an in-unit washer and dryer because when I live with my mother and when I live with my grandfather, because this is the funny shit. My grandfather lived across the street from my grandmother. Same community, all of that shit, whatever. But he had a bedroom for me in his house and everything. Like, so that's why I moved when I moved. So living with my mother and living with my grandfather, bitch, no washer and dryer going to that laundromat every week? Hell no. And then the shit was so crazy because they ain't even allowed like 24-hour access to the laundry shit. So the laundromat closed at like 8 o'clock or some shit like that. So you know how many times, bitch, I've been in the middle of washing clothes or something, forgot I'm washing clothes, washing my uniforms at that bitch, and the laundromat closed. And I gotta try to get up in the, not even I gotta get up. I used to ask my stepfather to go. But I gotta ask my stepfather in the morning early as shit to go try to put the clothes in the dryer before school start. Like, that's just too fucking much. That is a lot of trauma that I don't ever want to experience again. So like I said, in-unit washer and dryer must have a dishwasher. Those are my non-negotiables. And then my last non-negotiable is what they call it, valet trash. I'm not taking no fucking trash out. That's just not something I'm going to do. Or I gotta have like a trash chute if I was to live in like a luxury place or whatever. But most times luxury apartments have valet trash. But whatever. My first apartment I ever moved into North Carolina, they had valet trash. And I was just like, bitch, I ain't gotta take the trash out. This is amazing. But again, but listen, that's another little fee. Valet trash, my valet trash $2 every month. Like, you know what I'm saying? So them little fees will add up on your ass. So there's that. You know, but I just feel like if you're moving in state, it's a lot easier. Like that's something that's very easier, and it's something that's a lot more affordable. Because what I'm going to tell you is what nobody is talking about is, so like for example, when I moved to my first apartment, I had shit. But like my clothes and stuff, like I ain't have nothing. My godmother got my bed, so they shipped that to the house. I had that, whatever. Then I moved to my second apartment. When I moved out of my first apartment into my second apartment, I'm not moving none of that shit. Like, I just feel like that shit, and that's a man's job. I feel that way about the trash, too. Ain't anything that got anything to do with the car. Like, that's a man's job to me. So, when I moved, I called the bros, and they came and they helped move. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, listen, y'all, I need your help. And oh my God, like, I love them so much, y'all, because I called them that morning. The morning I was supposed to be moving out. Hey, y'all, I need some help moving. Yeah, no problem. What's up? When? Now. Like, what you mean? Like, I got to move out of this apartment today. I need y'all now. And they was there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, when I moved here, I knew that movers was the only way to go. Like, I'm not lifting a finger for shit but to sign a lease. That's all I'm doing. So, I hired my movers. I think that was, hold up, did I write that down? I thought I wrote it down. Yes. Bitch, it cost $3,000 to move all of my stuff long distance. Okay? And then it cost another $1,400 to ship my car. Okay? I told y'all I'm not good at math, so let's write this down. $3,000. Because them numbers, like I said, just started dancing around my head like diamonds on Chris Brown, bitch. And then it cost $1,400 to move my car. So we're already at $5,400. And that's just to move all the shit and the car. That ain't paying no rent. That ain't the ticket for the train. That ain't none of that. I think my train ticket was like $200. And then I had to buy a plane ticket that was like $200. And then like, of course, like getting like the little regular house shit you need. I think I spent like $200-300. I was gifted a pot and pan set, so that I'm very grateful for that. Bought my Ninja, that was $200. Like, girl, the numbers is adding up. Like, they're adding up. But all in all, it took like $7,000 to move me from the state of Maryland to the state of Texas. So another thing that I will say is, if you can, I'm not saying this is possible for everybody, because it's not. Like, when everybody be like, oh, save. Bitch, everybody can't save. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm saying. But if you can, keyword, pay your rent a month early, because you never know what's going to happen in 30 days. And you can at least buy yourself another 30 days, bitch. So when I moved in, I always paid my rent ahead. And then, okay, back to the backside of that from the office. That is a fucking headache for rent roll and for the reports and shit. That is a fucking headache for them people to have balances, credits on their reports. That is a fucking headache for them. But fuck them people. I don't care. I just want to make sure I'm straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, do your best to stay ahead on your rent if you don't do nothing else. I don't give a fuck if you ain't got no gas in your car. Bitch, walk. Pay that fucking rent. People minds be in the wrong places. They be like, oh, I ain't gonna pay my rent, but I'm gonna put gas in the car so I can ride around the city and look cute. No, bitch, you are hustling backwards. This video is kind of long, but it's informative and it's fun. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. Yeah, we went over some really important stuff, and I hope this helps someone who wants to move. Yeah, so listen, because if this ain't the truth, I don't know what is. Because do you know how many people talked fear into my relocation? Do you know how many fucking times people was like, what's in Texas? Bitch, a new address. That's what's in fucking Texas. Like, why y'all hating on me so hard? Like, fuck out of here. Because you want to know something? Bitches be mad because they be hating, and bitches be hating because they be fucking mad. Bye, y'all.